What up YouTube, it's your boy, Hontin Hootenanny Domnuts. You may know me as the world's most successful Fortnite player, and also the spokesperson for Starlink Battle for Atlas. But did you also know... I'm the world's biggest Sonic the Hedgehog fan, motherfucker! That's right, I love all of them. Sonic in the Lost World, the DS one, Sonic Generations, that one's decent, that's not really funny. Sonic R, that tennis one, I don't think it's named after Sonic, but he's definitely in it. And also that Japanese exclusive arcade one where you had to use like the rollerball trackpad. You know that one? That's one for the fans. You might not know that one. I've definitely played it. I actually have played it. Use a rollerball. I don't even think you play as Sonic, I think you play as a bee. Anyway, I just heard that they're making a film, and the trailer's out right now, and I'm about to watch it for the first time. That's right, me. Hontin Hootenanny Domnuts, confirmed as the world's biggest Sonic the Hedgehog fan. Let's watch it right now.
Meow?
Oh, fuck me! Oh, fuck.
The first trailer for Paramount's Sonic the Hedgehog is here, and it contains everything you could ever want for the Blue Blur's big screen debut. Bland, uninspiring cinematography, a crippling misunderstanding of the very concept of humour, and a CGI protagonist that looks like someone had to sacrifice a cow in order to contain it within celluloid, lest it burst from the screen and feast on the flesh of the young and the innocent. Yeah, it's not the best. I have a bit of a vested interest in this. A year ago I made a video all about the then, thankfully still rumoured Sonic the Hedgehog film. At the time very little was known about the project, but that didn't stop me utilising a number of high level journalistic techniques such as clicking onto page 2 of a Doodle search in order to deduce the following information. The Sonic the Hedgehog film would be a blend of live action and CGI. It would be produced by the guy behind the Fast and the Furious franchise, and that was it. That was all I could find. I concluded the video with this fairly reasonable prediction. So here we are, nearly 4 years on from the film's original announcement, and everything still seems to be in the very early planning stages. It's still seemingly set to be released in 2019, but that's it. We don't know what the plot is, we don't even know who's being considered for the cast, who will voice Sonic, who will be his twerty female sidekick slash probable love interest. Will this ever come out? I honestly have no idea. Probably not, to be honest. More innocent times. I miss them. Take me bath. Take me footing bath. Last December, Curator and Paramount released the first teaser for the film. A poster that showed a silhouette of the spiky blue boy, and oh my god, why does he have muscular human man legs? His calves are so defined. They're so defined. Well, it's fair to say the internet reacted poorly to this teaser. Common questions raised by baffled fans included, are those tiny beady eyes like those of a real hedgehog? Are those real human hands? If Sonic has the proportions of a real life human male, does he also have the same anatomy? Does Sonic have a penis? It was just me asking that last question, but the point still remained. This Sonic looked like it could both run a marathon and fuck. The implications were horrifying, and despite basically nothing being revealed, a consensus had already been reached. Why, Paramount? Why? If my interest had been piqued by my own research 9 months prior, it's fair to say that this weirdly muscular teaser had whipped my fascination up into a frenzy. I was excited by just how awful this train wreck of a film was going to be, and awaited the full reveal with giddy anticipation. Subsequent marketing leaks threw additional fuel onto this now raging fire, especially this one, that looks like Sonic used his weird man penis in order to take the picture. Seriously, try this handle out yourself, it's impossible. You have to use your penis to take the picture. You have to use your penis to take the picture. Paramount, however, remained tight-lipped about the final project. For months, that original teaser, an omen to the horror that awaited us, was all we had. No word on story, no word on a release date, no word on anything, just silence, punctuated by a defined calf draped in shadows. Personally, I bided my time by watching this interview between the previously announced voice of Sonic the Hedgehog himself, Ben Schwartz from Parks and Recreation fame, and Larry King on repeat.
But you're animated.
Yeah, I wasn't good enough to be a human being, so it's just my voice.
Hedgehogs are interesting, though, aren't they?
I can't wait to see where this goes.
What kind of voice does he have?
I can't say it yet. They're not letting me. It's very secret. This is a very secret.
Why do they do this?
If you wanted to be Sonic, tell me, what do you think a hedgehog would sound like?
I have no idea.
I gotta hear it, Larry. You gotta take a leap. This is your 150th episode.
How long?
That's
Hello, I'm just the Hedgehog. No one cares about me.
I watch this video multiple times a week. I genuinely love it. On Tuesday, 30th of April 2019, nearly 5 months after that original teaser, which, might I add, is a concerning amount of time to leave between the initial teaser and the first trailer, just in case you want more evidence that this film has had a deeply troubled production, my prayers were finally answered. Paramount released the first trailer for Sonic the Hedgehog. It was somehow even worse than I expected, and I love it so much. So let's analyse this, scene by scene, because I want to.
You can't tell me what to do, you're not my real dad, Brian.
So we start off with this opening shot of green hills, a reference to the original game's first level in the town in which the film presumably takes place. From this very first shot, it's clear that the entire tone of this film is completely off. I understand the movie takes place in the real world, but did it have to look so bland? Just look at this shot. The road's all busted, the grass is all dried out and gross. Yeah, okay, it's a small town, but look, we'll circle back to this point. It's gonna come up a lot. A blue blur dashes past a police car where Officer Tom Wachowski, played by James Marsden, a man cursed to forever play the human sidekick and middling to bad movies starring CGI characters, plots it at a speed of 760, what is that, miles per hour? What kind of metric do Americans use? Is it kilometers? Who cares? He's a fast lad. Jumping out of his car, Tom finds a strand of Sonic's pubes that crattle with electric energy in a way that Sonic famously doesn't. Then we see the best part of the whole trailer, the Paramount logo, but the stars are rins and it makes the rin sound. See? Lovely. We also get the Sather logo, further proving that Sather are more than happy to show off their direct involvement in the 15-year-long murder of their speedy blue son with zero remorse. Then we get this scene of someone running through a forest, which is deeply nauseating.
Oh God, Sonic, stop! Sonic, stop! Please, Sonic, stop! Stop! Please! Stop!
Sonic walks past a gross pile of shoes, all of which are taped up and have holes in them, and I've doodled enough Sonic the Hedgehog porn over the years to know that there's a hell of a lot of horny folks out there who love to draw pictures of Sonic's feet, who must have lost their shit at this one scene. And honestly, fair play to you. It's nice to think at least someone out there enjoyed this trailer. Now, but in all seriousness, I actually do have a folder on my desktop that's literally just full of pictures of Sonic with his shoes off, and it's for a video that I never did, but they're all there, and I think I need to have a little think about what I'm doing with my life because I just can't delete it. It just feels wrong to delete it at this point. It's comforting to me. We also did our first glance at his human, childlike body, which, even out of focus and partially obscured, looks deeply unsettling. Look at his hands. Look at his... Oh God, I regret analysing this so closely. His hands are so furry and human-like, and they've accurately animated the way his fingers would bend as he pushes a tape into his boombox. I'm gonna be sick. This is making me genuinely anxious. Anyway, he's listening to Tulio's Gangsta's Paradise because what year is this? Let's talk about Paramount's decision to use this song in their trailer because it's really weird. Gangsta's Paradise is often cited as one of the best songs of all time and one of the most important gangsta rap songs ever recorded. It's a song that addresses the cyclical nature of violence in American working class areas, highlighting the institutionalized racism that encourages these conflicts. In Gangsta's Paradise, Tulio laments this before conceding in the last verse that the situation, or indeed his surroundings, will never improve as a result of these deep-rooted issues within society. Speaking to Rolling Stone in 2015, Tulio said that the song was created for the neighbourhood. Quote, I still get quite a few people coming up to me and telling me that Gangsta's Paradise got them through some really rough times in their life, and that it changed their life. A lot of guys told me it got them through their prison time. It has nothing to do with me, it has to do with whatever person is listening to it at the time. It's all things to all people. When he says all people, I'm unsure he meant blue hedgehogs that run real quick. I'm not trying to say that trailers shouldn't use music that may not be thematically relevant to the thing they're trying to advertise, but I mean it really helps if they do. This trailer uses a song that talks about gang violence. It talks about potentially not living past the age of 24. The first verse talks about how even Tulio's mother can no longer support the way he's living because of the choices he's made. It's just really jarring in this context. Was it used because the song came out in 1995? Around the time Sather and Sonic the Hedgehog were most relevant in popular culture? Is it because Paramount are so desperate to convey the edginess of Sonic the Hedgehog that is pervasive throughout the brand, despite it being a franchise targeted at children? Is it just because someone at Paramount was like, listen, people are going to hate this no matter what we do, so we may as well just make it really weird and full of bad decisions so at the very least people talk about it? I mean, it's the last one, right? It's 100% the last one. We'll revisit this idea later on, but yeah. That's why. I also 100% bet you there's a version of this trailer on a hard drive at Paramount with a dubstep version of Green Hill Zone, and it's 10 times better, but was rejected instantly as soon as they saw the Detective Pikachu trailer and realised they had no chance of ever competing against it. Anyway, here's our first look at Sonic. Alright. Alright. Obviously watching this freak limber up is horrific. His body stretching and moving in a way that resembles that of a human rather than a cartoon rodent. His hands flex and his thighs expand. Ugh, it's wrong. I hate it. His hair looks weird, his body looks weird. I do not care for it. Even though we've yet to see him properly yet, I hate it. I hate it! What's really, really weird about this scene is that despite every other scene in the trailer up to this point being an on-location shot that grounds the film firmly in reality, everything on screen right now is CGI. Look at the difference between the opening shot and this one of Sonic getting ready to run. They look completely different. The colours are different. The overall atmosphere is different. Earlier when I mentioned that the tone of the film is completely off, yeah, this is what I mean. It's all over the place. It's a mess. Anyway, Sonic gets all zapped up and says his most famous catchphrase.
Gotta go fast.
Did you know that this line isn't from a game? It's from the theme song of a 2003 animated TV show called Sonic X. I didn't know this, and it really highlights the fragmented nature of the Sonic franchise though, that its most famous line isn't even from a mainline entry in the original series, but is instead from an early 2000s TV show, and more recently, from a meme that is arguably now just as recognisable as the games themselves. Then we're treated to our first glimpse of his face. Yikes. We'll talk about his face a bit later on, when we get a better look at it, but yikes. His eyeballs get electrocuted because who gives a shit, and then he's off, running so fast that his surroundings change between full CGI to aerial live action shots because why not, who cares? His little legs move so fast that he causes an energy surge that wipes out the power across the entirety of the Pacific Northwest, so says this group of military leaders within this horribly lit and incredibly dull looking conference room. Again, dull, lifeless, bland, visually all over the place. You get the picture.
20 minutes ago, an energy surge knocked out power across the entire Pacific Northwest. This needs someone who can figure out exactly what we're dealing with.
You're not suggesting who I think you're suggesting.
The someone they're referring to is... Actually, before we get to that, let's look at this shot again. It's just a barren, lifeless looking field. It looks less like the scene of a military cleanup operation and more like the local fairground has just rolled into town and is in the process of setting up the twister. Is that just a UT reference? We'll see. Maybe that won't travel well. This is the Green Hill Zone in the games, and this is the Green Hill Zone in the film. Now, I understand it's not meant to be a one-to-one conversion, but would it have killed them to make it look a little bit more visually interesting? Yeah, the town's name is just a fun reference to the games. It doesn't need to be anything more than that, but it just sucks all of the energy out of the trailer when every single establishing shot looks so washed out and anemic. Detective Pikachu takes place in the real world, but still manages to convey a sense of wonder and intrigue by taking a grungy looking city and coating it in sparkling neon. This is just a field. Anyway, that someone they're referring to as the nefarious Dr. Robotnik, or Edman, played by 2019 Jim Terry, doing a very poor impression of a 1995 Jim Terry.
Are you in charge here?
Yes, I am.
Nope!
I'm
Wrong. I'm in charge.
Allow me to clarify. In a sequentially ranked hierarchy based on level of critical importance, the disparity between us is too...
There's not a single good joke in this entire scene. Nothing lands, nothing works.
The doctor thinks you're basic.
Oh, fuck off. Also, this scene is just the Zip It scene from Austin Powers 2, The Spy Who Shagged Me.
Alright, zip it.
You can't even...
Zip it. Zip.
Look, all
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, exhibit A.
It says a lot, I think, how heavily this trailer relies on themes, tones and tropes from the 90s, not in a nostalgic, self-aware way, but in an unironic, dated way. It sucks. I love it. Anyway, I actually really like Robotnet's design. It's quite clean and sinister in a comedic, cartoonish way. It works. Terry's performance is want, but visually I do not hate it. Put that on the poster. Thank you very much.
SFPD! Meow?
Alright, here we go. I don't really want to dwell too much as to why this is awful, especially seeing as the film's director Jeff Fowler has already promised that Sonic's final design will be changed before the movie releases in November. So let's just sum up everything that's wrong with Sonic's design in, I don't know, let's try and do 20 seconds or less? His eyes are separate, but are just far enough for them to appear somehow even more unnatural than if they were connected. His eyeballs look like they're made out of plastic, which would be fine if they weren't clearly aiming for realism. His eyelids are eerily pronounced, and he has very fine, very beautiful eyelashes, which is confusing. His nose is accurate to that of Sonic's original design, which actively worked against the realistic design they're aiming for. He has lips, which, much like his eyelids, look eerily pronounced. He has human teeth, which is horrific, and no wait, that's 90% of the reason why I hate this. It's the teeth and the lips. It's just this entire mouth area. It's...
Oh, I can't stop the timer. I can't keep doing this.
He gets shot in his weirdly realistic thigh, which is unsettling. Another shot that looks like absolute trash. Sonic's proportions are so off. Like, this entire shot is just so bad. Look at how much empty space there is on the screen right now. And Sonic doesn't actually appear to even be looking at Tom at all. Instead, he's just staring off into the abyss. The void calling him home, back to where he rightfully belongs.
Hey pal, I want answers. Basically, it looks like I'm gonna have to save your planet.
So it seems like the plot has something to do with Sonic saving Earth. Probably from Robotnet, who no doubt transported Sonic to Green Hills either by accident or intentionally. Sonic is canonically from a planet called Morbius, in the extended lore anyway. I don't think that's ever mentioned in the games, so it's fair to assume he is in the film as well. I reckon that huge energy surge that wipes out all the power grid is the result of Robotnik bringing Sonic into our world. Why am I trying to predict what portion of the Sonic lore this film is basing its narrative on? I'm better than this. Come on, man. I like this. It looks good. It made the sound. Nice.
Oh, is that all you got?
Never mind. Proportionally, he looks so similar to the child in the Sonic costume meme, I can't not see it. Do you know what? That kid would probably do a more convincing job of playing Sonic, to be honest. Hey Robotnet, quick question mate, I won't keep you. Do you think say that all Paramount actually care about making a good Sonic the Hedgehog movie?
No, but thank you for asking.
More bland, uninspired CGI here. That's cool. That's good. Again, Terry's portrayal seems weak, but there's something to be said about the way the trailer demonstrates his slow transformation into the Robotnik we know. It's kinda neat. I like it. More pube action here. Great stuff. We're in a city now, and Sonic is using a Rin as a teleportation device, which is, I think, technically accurate to the games, but it looks dumb as hell, and honestly, we're 2 minutes into the trailer now. I'm numb to this. I do not care. Now he's in Egypt, being pursued by a CGI drone. Alright. The Every Hero Has a Genesis line is really cool until you realise that the Genesis was called the Mega Drive everywhere outside of North America, and suddenly this line loses all meaning. I really want them to do an international cut of this trailer that just says Every Hero Has a Mega Drive though, because that sounds less like a cool tagline and more like the flex a 9-year-old kid would have made in front of his Super Nintendo owning friends in 1991. I was gonna cut that joke, but I'm actually really proud of it, so I'm gonna leave it in. Screw it. Oh, he looks so tough when he's angry. Again, Robotnik looks great here. Genuinely. He's got his red jacket, his doddles. Spot on. I love this. I really need to talk about these robots. Okay, so in the majority of the Sonic games, Eggman's forces are doofy, weird-looking robots. In the first few games, they're all robot animals, and in the later games, they're all just cartoony-looking robots. Silly, fun, little robots. They're cute. I like them. The robots in this trailer, however, they bear more resemblance to Eggman's minions in Sonic's 2006 reboot. Yeah, you know, Sonic 06. The game that was ridiculed by both critics and fans alike and is widely considered to be one of the worst games ever made. The game that permanently tarnished the reputation of the franchise as a whole. The game that made Eggman into a real human being and had Sonic and his friends running around talking to other real human beings in realistic looking locations. And then at the end of the game, Sonic kisses a real human lady. That game. Yeah, that's the one they've taken visual inspiration from. Says a lot, I think, doesn't it? 28 years worth of source material and they choose that one. Yikes. I can't get a grasp on how tall Sonic is meant to be. I swear he changes every single time I see him. Look how little he looks. What's happening? Anyway, he can stop time, I guess. That probably would have proven more helpful when he was shot with a dart earlier on. He is wearing his iconic red sneakers in this scene though, so maybe they let him stop time? I really resent the fact I'm making genuine predictions. Please let me die.
Look at this! I took 9 million steps today.
Sonic, you're literally not wearing anything on your wrist.
Terrible.
This is Tita Sumpter, by the way, who hasn't been introduced at all in this trailer, but she is one of the main characters. James Marsden's character wasn't introduced either. Thinking about it, neither was Terry's Robotnik. I've gotten everyone's names from IMDb, but Tita has no character name on there, so that's good. That's fun.
Stay in there and be quiet.
How much longer? I can't breathe in here.
Do you have your child in that bag?
No. I mean, yes, it's a child, but it's not mine. It's not your child.
Yeah, this trailer ends on a child abduction joke, because this is a film for children. That's, yep, well done. 10 out of 10. Before this nightmare ends, we did a few glitched scenes of Robotnik, culminating in this shot of him looking exactly how Eggman should look, complete with his bald head, gloves, doddles, and powerful moustache. This weird, mushroom-riddled location is likely Sonic's original homeworld of Morbius. He also has one of Sonic's pubes in a vial, which I assume he uses to travel to Morbius? Either way, it's hard to get excited about this because it's rumoured that this is the very last shot of the movie, because of course it is. Anyway, that's it. That's the trailer. Alright, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't excited to see this film. To be honest, Sonic the Hedgehog is now my most anticipated movie of 2019. Don't get me wrong, this trailer is garbage. The film looks bland and washed out, the delivery from the cast is poor at best, and at its worst is absolutely atrocious. Sonic looks awful, the set pieces look weird, and honestly, the film seems to be actively trying to subvert its own source material out of resentment. It doesn't feel like a sincere adaptation of the games, or even its supplementary materials at all. It's everything I hoped it would be, and more. Not since 1993's Super Mario Bros. Has a video game film missed the mark as much as this one. Not a single video game adaptation released in the past decade has left an impression on culture as much as this one trailer for Sonic the Hedgehog has. No one's still talking about the 2018 Tomb Raider reboot, Assassin's Creed, or Prince of Persia. People are only talking about Detective Pikachu because Warner Bros. Have taken a bold, grungy approach to an established and still hugely popular franchise. But this is beyond awful. Memorably so, memeably so, and I think that's the point. I think this might be intentional. Okay, this is a bit of a tinfoil hat theory, but bear with me. I think Paramount were fully expecting everyone to hate this. I don't think the film itself was made with the expectation that people would hate it. Far from it, actually. I think a lot of very talented people put a lot of effort into making this the best film they could possibly make about an annoying blue rat that just runs really fast. But I think as soon as they put out that initial teaser, they realised just how much of a turd they had on their hands. So I actually think this trailer was a bit of a ploy. Put out something that is basically a highlight reel of the entire movie, make it mainly about Sonic, show off the supporting cast, but purposefully withhold any narrative beats or introductions so we have no idea who they are. Just focus on that Sonic design. Show off Robotnik a little, but ensure you show the audience that he's not just going to be some dude in a black trench coat the entire time, even if that means spoiling what is potentially the final scene in the whole movie. Let everyone laugh at Sonic's weirdly muscular legs. In the meantime, work quietly in the background, changing the design to more closely resemble the ones found in the games, make them more expressive, more cartoonish, less realistic and more animated. Then release the original trailer, the one with the old design from mid to late 2018. Let people laugh at it. Let people hate it. Who cares? Let them get angry. Then promise to change it, even though you already did 6 months ago. Boom! You've saved your movie and transformed that turd into a gleaming turd. It's still a turd. Look at this, it's still awful, and changing Sonic's design won't make the difference. If anything, making Sonic look better might actually result in this film being worse. Yeah, this version of Sonic is deeply unnerving, but he's tonally consistent with the rest of the presentation in the sense that he looks fucking shit. I want to watch this version of Sonic, spouting disastrous attempts at humour whilst flexing his muscular thighs, causing every child in America to cry in fear as a result. In all seriousness though, I think this is going to be great fun. It's not going to be good, it's going to be awful. But unlike the video game adaptations that came before it, I think this might end up being the most memorable. A movie about a character popular in the 90s, released 20 years too late with zero understanding of the source material it's adapting. A hot mess. A true, genuine, bona fide hot mess. I can't wait. I'm covered in milk and water. The water's not a problem, but the milk is gonna smell. Did you even tell this is a Sonic the Hedgehog t-shirt? Did you even tell that? It's really ill-fitting. It's a terribly tight Sonic the Hedgehog t-shirt. Does that joke even work? I don't know. I don't know. Hey, thanks for sticking to the end of this terrible video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a like, please share it, leave a comment. Did you enjoy the trailer? Let me know. Let me know. If you enjoyed it, that's great. I mean, good for you. That's, you know, your opinion. It's wrong, but it's your opinion. If you could share this video, that would actually be really good. I'm super close to 1,000 subscribers. I've been doing this for a year and a half now, and we've gone from 400 to 900. So, you know, slowly but surely we are building up a little community here, and I'm so close to 1,000. It's just something I think I'd really like. As much as I say I don't care about the numbers, if I hit 1,000 YouTube subscribers, that's going to be quite a special moment for me. I know it's not a huge amount, but this is a hobby. I do this for a laugh, and I think to have that kind of validation would be quite fun and cool. So if you could share this video, tell your friends to subscribe, join in the sporadic nonsense that I like to post on this channel. Did you hear my knee clip there? What the fuck was that? Sorry for the hiatus. I know I haven't been around for like nearly a month. I have a day job and that takes priority. Sorry. But obviously I'm going to come back for Sonic because that trailer is just, I love it so much. Anyway, thank you. I love you all. Because I'm your dad.